good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Kraven the Hunter, man. I finally got to watch the movie, got back from the theater. And yeah, first of all, this is the first year I saw all the Marvel movies in the theaters. Deadpool, Wolverine, Venom, and Kraven the Hunter. All three of them I saw in the theater. God, I probably haven't done that since goddamn 2019. It's been a minute, man. It has been a minute since I've actually gotten the chance to watch all the Marvel movies in a theater that came out in a particular year. But yeah, man, now, anyway, jokes aside, man, what did I think of the film itself? Honestly, man, I loved Kraven the Hunter, man. Which I'm sure isn't surprising to most of y'all because I've loved all the other Sony ones. I unironically love Morbius. Unironically love Madam Web, and you guys know how much I love the Venom movies. And you guys saw my reaction to the trailers. I was hyped for the movie, man. It looked really fucking good. And this movie was a blast, man. And there was actually a lot of cool things. This one, obviously Rhino's in the movie and he looked great, but there's a few other Spidey characters that also make appearances in this film. Also, I'm pretty sure making their live action debut. Technically for a Rhino, if you don't count when he's actually a Rhino, not a mech suit like he was in TASM 2. Which I'll also talk more about those characters in these. Well, one of them I'll probably talk about here, and then the other one I'm gonna save for the spoiler discussion because that one was just way too cool. So that was really cool as well, man. I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was really great as Kraven the Hunter. I'd love to see him get another crack at Kraven, in the MCU. Bring him in there for that whenever they do Kraven in the MCU. I would love to see him return because I thought he was great in the film. And yeah, man, anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's just jump right into the movie. Let's jump right into the film itself. Anyway, so it's directed by J.C. Chandor, if I pronounce it right, and stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe, Ariane DeBose, if I pronounce that right, Fred Hetchinger, if I pronounce that right, Alessandro Novilla, if I pronounce that right, Levi Miller, and many more. In the plot of Kraven the Hunter, Kraven's complex relation with his ruthless father starts him down a path of vengeance, motivating him to become not only a greatest hunter in the world, but also one of its most feared. So, overall, I thought the cast was great as well. But like I mentioned before, Aaron Taylor Johnson I thought was fantastic as Kraven the Hunter. And like I said, I would love to see him get another crack at the role since we know that this is seemingly the end of the Sonyverse, the Sony live action. This is the last one they're doing. They're cutting the project now, apparently, which I guess means that Sinister Six, when they had the pipe that they were gonna do, where Noah's gonna be the villain with Morbius, Kraven, and have Agent Venom in the film as well. I'm assuming that movie has also been canned, or maybe they're still gonna go through with that anyway, and that'll be the end of the of Sony's Spider-Man-less verse, or whatever you wanted, the Sony Spider-Man verse, whatever you want to call this. That'll be the end. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I assume this is the last movie. So yeah, he was great, man. Russell Crowe is brilliant as always, man. He's not in the movie a lot, but whenever he's on there, man, he does low-key steal the show, man. I thought he was great. Ariana DeBose, I thought she was great as well as Calypso, who I'm pretty sure is a completely original character, man. I thought she was pretty cool as well. Love the outfit she wears also in the final act of the film, and I really dug that outfit she was rocking. Was really cool, man. Alessandro Novilla, if I'm pronouncing his name, who plays Rhino, I thought was really good as well. He was pretty good as well, man. I thought it had I have no idea how accurate this is to the comics. It probably it's its own original take on the Rhino, with him being a gangster and him being hooked up to this machine and everything, and that kind of keeps him from how he's able to transform from Rhino form to human form. I'm thinking this took some liberties, or maybe this all is from the comics. I'm not entirely sure. Rhino was a Stan Lee character. Now that was way before my time. But he was pretty good as well. Another one of my favorite characters in the movie was actually Christopher Abbott as the Foreigner, who is an actual character in the Marvel Universe. I checked to see if he was a legit character. The Foreigner was honestly probably the best part of the movie, man. He stole the show whenever he was on screen, man, besides Russell Crowe, obviously. Because he is so fucking cool. This dude has this hypnosis thing going on there, man, where he can more or less or at least that's how it looks in the film, stop time and walk around people and make them take out the criminals that way, or maybe they'll kill themselves or whatever the case may be, some hypnosis thing. It looked really fucking cool, man. And honestly, I want to see more of this guy. So if any of you guys got any Foreigner reading recommendations, please leave them down below in the comments, because I would love to read more comics with this dude. Whatever arcs that he's in there, where he's a main player or whatnot, man, leave him down in the comments as well, because I thought this dude was so fucking cool in the film. But yeah, like so that cast was great as well. Fred Hendrickson, who plays Dimitri, which we'll talk more about him in the spoilers discussion. I thought he was really cool as well, especially when they do with him at the end of the movie, man, which we'll talk about then. I want to talk about it now, but then I don't want to get into spoilers. He was really cool as well. The action sequences are all fantastic, man. Of course, really is rated R, and which they use the fullest, man. They have liberal uses of fuck in the movie, which is always great to see, man. Blood everywhere when it comes to the fight scenes, man. They look great, man. It's nice to finally see like Kraven or a Marvel movie actually have like a Spider-Man villain actually get some gore, because you guys remember when Venom was coming out, the first one, everyone was saying it should be rated R, it has to be rated R, it has to be rated R. You know, this also kind of continued with Kraven with Carnage last dance, because you know Carnage, like they want the R rating, they wanted the R rating, never got the R rating, they were always PG-13. So it's nice that we finally got one of these movies was rated R, and we got the gore, and we got the cursing and everything, man, which was a nice change of pace, which I thought was nice. And that's why kind of like the one thing I always loved about those Sony Spider-Man movies, and this is probably why I enjoy them so much, and while a lot of people probably don't, besides like the Venom movies, it's just because they feel like 2000 superhero movies. Now, obviously, there were a lot of problems there. Superhero movies still find the footing. You had occasional films, obviously the Raimi films, the X-Men movies, a few others in between. I would argue the Punisher. You could add that list, Blade as well, of course. Ghost Rider with Nick Cage. But I honestly love those movies, man. Like there is a Daredevil 03. You guys know I am a massive supporter of. I fucking love Daredevil 03, man. That film is an unironic masterpiece, man, and I will defend that movie to the day I die. That movie is so fucking great. It is brimming with cinema. But one thing, but I feel like those movies had such a unique charm to them, even if they weren't like the best ones, and they weren't like the best superhero like compared to the ones we get nowadays. I don't know, man. I just love the charm and the feel and the vibe of those movies, and the Sony Spider-Man verse have emulated that vibe perfectly with these movies, man. And that's why I personally love them so much, because they remind me of 2000 superhero, which in today's like modern age with the MCU, the DCEU, now DCU, that feels like that almost feels like a weird breath of fresh air to kind of revert to the look and the feel and the vibe of those ones from the 2000s. That's just me personally, man. That's why I love these movies, because they remind me of like the 2000s superhero movies, like we would get like Daredevil, Ghost Rider, the other ones that weren't always critically acclaimed, the Punisher as well. Like the Raimi movies were, or the X-Men films. I thought that's one of the main reasons why I love the movie. But yeah, the fights are awesome, great, man. Love Kraven's outfit when, of course, he gets it, which, as you guys could imagine, that is at the end of the movie, man. Although, weirdly enough, you guys know the shot that's in all the trailers where we see Kraven like lighting up a torch. Yeah, that scene's not in the movie at all. Like, even, like, that torch thing is literally the emoji they use for Kraven the Hunter, hashtag Kraven the Hunter, when you, like, use the hashtag on Twitter. They have that torch. That scene is literally not in the movie at all. I don't know why it got cut. I don't know if that was just, like, a trailer shot they wanted to put in there, man. But, yeah, so technically Sony didn't put the last shot in the trailer, again, like they have for previous movies. Kinda, because like I said, he only gets like the actual fur vest until like the end of the movie. That's when he finally gets at the end of the movie. But yeah, so I'm like, because as the movie was progressing onwards and we still hadn't seen that shot, I'm like, oh, they put the final frame in the end, and they put the final shot in the trailers, of course, because of course they did. But then the movie ended, and it didn't show up till they put the post-credit scene in the trailer like they did with Morbius, but it wasn't there either. So yeah, the scene's just not in the movie at all, which I thought was a little bit bizarre that it got cut. But whatever the case may be, yeah. But anyway, man, like I said, the action scenes were really dumb, especially the final one where we get to see Rhino and Kraven facing off, man. He's like taking on the rest of Rhino's goons, using their traps against them, man. There were some really gory shots in this one too. Ooh, some of those kills, man, they were like some Saw level top shit, low key. Like, I don't want to get into spoilers, man, but like there's this one guy that gets dragged away and hits a tree truck, man, and man, it is not pretty. It is not pretty at all, man. So this is why, like I said, I'm happy this movie got the R rating just so we can get this, man. Because, man, that final fight, man, was spectacular, man. Seriously. And like I said, when we see Kraven and Rhino going at, man, bro, that shit was peak. Not peak, but that shit was awesome, man. That shit was hype, not gonna lie. One other thing I want to quickly talk about before we jump right into my negatives of the movie and we get my final verdict, and we jump right into spoilers, which to be fair won't be that long. I want to talk about AMC Laser real quick, because that's kind of what AMC got there, man. Is that their thing for like standard viewings is called Laser. I'm gonna be real. I don't, and like I saw this was the same thing when I saw Venom: The Last Dance. I completely forgot to mention my review there, but I figure I mentioned, but I might as well mention it here, man. I'm gonna be real. I don't really know as much of a difference with AMC Laser compared to like other random theaters like the Cinemarks I've gone to, like the Cinemark I went to, and like the theater in Richcraft, the one in at HSU. Like I didn't really notice that much of it. I mean, I did when they did replay old like Venom footage for Last Dance from like Kraven from like Carnage from Carnage. Or from like Carnage, I did notice it definitely did look a bit better there compared to when I first saw these movies in theaters. So it looks a bit better, but honestly not by much. It's kind of all marketing about with the whole laser. Like I said, it doesn't look that much better than what I've got in like previous theaters I've been to. But I will say one other thing, guys. So, as you guys do know, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know that when I went to go see Kraven the Hunter, when I got to my screen where it was, which was on Theater 6, when I got there, the screening from the screening for the previous screening for Kraven the Hunter, which was at like 10 a.m., 10:40 a.m. or whatever, was still playing. At first, I thought my watch was off, my phone was off, and I started low-key freaking out that I somehow completely mistimed my showing. So I went back to the front man, I asked him and made sure I was in the right theater as well, and they said, oh yeah, it's just a previous screening, still going. And it wasn't gonna end until like 1:07 at that point. So I just like, alright, so then right after that, I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Sonic 3. Because I wanted to watch Sonic 3, I wanted to do a double feature between this and Sonic 3. I mapped out the times of when I wanted to go. My mom wouldn't let me stay in the theater the entirety, so I had to pick one. And I picked Kraven because I'm a Marvel shill. So, but since this was my time to watch Sonic 3, so I was going all over the theater, checking every single goddamn screening theater I could to see which ones were playing Sonic 3. I found one. It was basically it was literally right at the end of the movie, like the final 10 minutes of the movie, and really nothing was spoiled. I was like, oh yep, this is the ending of Sonic Adventure 2, all right. Yep. No surprises there. And I did check the credits just to see what the post-credit scene was, and if there was what the mid and post-credit scenes were. Live and Learn was in the end credits song, so I was like, all right, good. The song's in there, man. So I look forward to when I actually get to see Sonic 3 in full. I'll start screaming my head off and singing Live and Learn when when Sonic and Shadow go supersonic, and they just start going crazy. That shit's gonna be hype. Whenever I finally get to see Sonic 3, probably when it drops on Paramount Plus. But anyway, so after that screen, so because I only last 10 minutes of the movie, I still had another 30 or 40 minutes left plus before Kraven had started. So I looked around, see if there was another theater that was airing Sonic 3, and I found in the Dolby Cinema at our AMC was actually playing Sonic 3. I had never been in a Dolby Cinema, so I was like, okay, cool. So I moved into that theater, man. No lie, bro. Those Dolby Cinemas are nice. They have full reclining seats, man. I remember when I went in there, I was like, God damn, this looks really nice. I was like, God damn, these chairs look really nice, man. They recline, everything. I was like, oh, God damn. I'm gonna have to see a full movie in here, bro. Damn, I didn't know y'all were cooking like this, Adobe. I didn't know y'all were cooking like that, man. So yeah, Dolby Cinema, man. Definitely check it out if you haven't already, man. It's legit. The sound, I don't really know what's with the sound and anything, man, but I was like, damn, the full recording station, I need to see a movie in here, in this theater in particular, one of these days. Which hopefully I will one day. But yeah. Anyway, tangent aside with Sonic 3 in movie formats. One other thing I want to quickly, so as far as the movie, I will say, probably my biggest one is also, I wish there was more Russell Crowe. I feel like he's a glorified cameo in the movie, man, I would say. He's not in the movie very much. He's always briefly on the screen, so I would have liked a little bit more Russell Crowe in the film, man, if I'm being honest. I would have liked to see a little bit more of Russell Crowe in the movie. And yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys today. Before we obviously get into my spoilers discussion, so like I said, you guys don't want to get spoiled, leave now to get the final verdict. But overall, my final verdict for the Kraven the Hunter is going to be a 9 out of 10, guys. And yeah, so like I said, we're getting the spoiler discussion now, so if you guys do not want to get spoiled, leave now. So, we find out that Kraven's brother, Dimitri, is actually the Chameleon, which shocked me, man, because it was actually kind of funny because earlier on in the movie, we can see that he can, mimic people's voices, perfectly. And I thought, okay, cool. I didn't really think much of it. It wasn't until Russell Crowe said, my son is like a chameleon, that I clicked in my head and I was like, oh, shit! Yo, is that the Chameleon? Are we going to see the Chameleon in this movie? And at the very end of the film, we actually do get to see him become the Chameleon. He takes it. Well, he doesn't take the mask off. It's like his like face morphs, because we found that both him and Rhino come. Rhino we know for certain. The other guy we don't get a name on, but we can assume it's the same doctor because they both mentioned they went to see the same doctor. The same doctor, the same doctor in New York. I was had a brain fart there. They both saw the same doctor in New York, and which I believe his name was like Max Warren or Miles Warren, I believe his name was. Which I thought the name sounded familiar, but then when I checked it, it was actually the Jackal, one of the Jackals. So technically the Jackal exists in this universe. We get Kraven the Hunter, we get Rhino, we get Foreigner, and we also get the Chameleon. And when we actually get to see Dimitri like go into like chameleon mode, he like change his face over to Kraven's face before we go into the classic gray face of the Chameleon. My God, did they do an amazing job, man. He looked amazing. I don't know if that was like a prosthetic mask that the actor was wearing with makeup, or if that was all completely CGI for the transformation as well as the chameleon mask itself, man. But either way, man, that was fucking awesome, man. The Chameleon looked so good, man. And it was so good to see him finally make his live action debut. Along with the Rhino as well, technically, if you don't, when he's actually like a Rhino, not like a mech suit like he was in TASM 2. And yeah, man, that was really cool, man. To see Kraven, to see the Chameleon in the movie, man, and he looked so good, man. I'm also kind of disappointed this seems to be the end of Sonyverse. I would have liked to see more what they were going to do, because I would have liked to see what they were going to plan on doing with the Chameleon. And now, to be fair, there's a something for like bringing these characters into the MCU whenever they bring in these, whenever they want to, man. When the time for Spider-Man 4 or whatever comes out, because I would like to see some of these characters do return for like in the MCU. Like the guy who plays Foreigner, I would like to see return. Aaron, I thought made a great job for Kraven. I would like to see him get another chance at it in the MCU. Chameleon looked great, so I would also be down to see him again. And just honestly, shout out to this movie for using so many like low tier, like not very well known Spidey villains in this movie, man, and throwing them all in there, and they all surprisingly fit pretty well. Like none of them feel out of place, man. It was cool, man. I thought that was really cool. They went and grabbed the Rhino, but they also went and got Jackal, get some mentions in here, man. We get to see the Chameleon for the first time in live action. We get to see Foreigner for the first time in live action, man. It was pretty hype, man. Not gonna lie, man. That was an amazing way to end the film off. I'm like, oh my God, that is fucking amazing. But yeah, I don't really got much more to say other than that, guys, man. The jacket looks amazing. I will say when we see Kraven get his jacket, man, it looks incredible. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You liked it if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me so you feel like it. Links subscribe below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.